We have the new moon at 11 degrees of Virgo, happening on September 2nd at 6:55 p.m. Pacific, which is 9:55 p.m. Eastern. Check your local time to see when this lunar event is occurring for you. Welcome to the last regular Virgo new moon for a very long time. And I say last because the next time we have any type of lunar event in Virgo, it's going to be a lunar eclipse happening on March 19th of 2025, because the nodes will be leaving Aries in the Libra axis and going to the Pisces Virgo axis. And so by the time we get to a full moon in Virgo, it's going to be a lunar eclipse. So that's going to make for some interesting stuff 6 months down the line. And as a matter of fact, when we get to that full moon in Pisces on the 17th, that's going to be our first lunar eclipse in these signs. And so we're going to be winding down the Aries Libra axis over this next 6 weeks or so in terms of the eclipses that we're going to get in these signs. So this Virgo moon is your last opportunity to do any manifestation work, setting intentions, adopting the positive qualities of the sign in Virgo energy, because after that, for about 18 months or so, we're not going to really be able to do that since the lunar events will be eclipses. Energetically, this is definitely an edgy one. It's an edgy week to begin with, and so the alignments and the way this is all kind of connecting is a little bit more triggery than typical with some of the energies, which pretty much lines up with the energies on the graph. We've got some psychic vibes popping up on the 2nd, along with romantic vibes, mental energy. There's a smidge of social energy, but there's an abundance of solitude energy. This is going to be a day where we're going to feel more conflicted than typical. As a matter of fact, over these next 48 hours, because I always look at the vibes 48 hours out from the new moon or when I'm doing the full moons to see exactly how some of these energies will hit us over the next couple of days. And so as we get to the 6th, we have more of that solitude energy, which happens to be in abundance, along with mental energy and a smidge of romance. So over these next few days, we can feel like our moods are fluctuating. We might feel more sensitive to energies than typical and feel like we're picking up on other people's vibes. So it may be moments where we're needing a little space to ourselves, but at the same time, needing a little bit of company to get our mind off of things. So it's a conflicting feeling and just a weird and odd sort of mood that this type of energy brings in. But here we are at this last new moon that you can actually do some sort of intentions with. And so new moons are about starting something fresh. It's about creating something you'd like to see flourish in your life. It's also about adopting the positive qualities of that sign. And so that way, when we get to the 6-month mark, when we reach the full moon in that exact sign, we can look at what's working and what we're ready to put out into the world versus the things that we need to let go of. And considering that's going to be a lunar eclipse at that time, it is really going to be a period where we're letting go of certain things that just don't work for us in Virgo energy. So in the meantime, it's a time to really narrow our options down so we can find something that's going to be useful for us later on. With Virgo energy, here's some questions to consider. What area of your life would you like to enhance? Because this is a sign about making things better. This is a sign about self-improvement and personal growth and just ensuring that we're showing up as the best versions of ourselves and tweaking something in our lives that could use a little bit of enhancement. Maybe this might be your appearance. Maybe you're wanting to look more polished than you have. Maybe you're wanting to learn the art of refinement in the way you conduct yourself and the way you speak and interact with others. This could look like refinement in the way you take in knowledge, so that way you can sharpen up your mind and present in a more experted way. Another way this can show up is becoming more conscious of our behavior, which ultimately helps us in terms of replacing self-sabotaging behavior and developing better coping skills and habits, which of course translates to a healthier mindset, the way we present ourselves, the way we react to situations, and also becoming more regimented. Because with this energy, it's about cleaning up our act, especially in mind, body, and spirit. With Virgo energy, we just aim to stay on track and hold ourselves accountable and become more disciplined in the way we go about our life overall. And sometimes that can also entail becoming more detail-oriented with our lifestyle, with other important information, things we're trying to learn, skills we're trying to build. Some people want to become more detail-oriented, so they're on top of things. and they don't skip a beat with any aspect of their life. So this could be a time where you're wanting to gain more focus, be more analytical, and see the little details in situations. And that is one of those other important things in Virgo energy that really helps us along in terms of not being as malleable to certain information, things, or people that may be swaying us in the wrong direction. So with this Virgo energy, we may be interested in learning the art of discernment with this detail-oriented sort of viewpoint. So if you're at that place where you're you're wanting to learn the art of discernment? Is this a time where you're wanting to be less agreeable to things that may be wrong or situations that are completely unhealthy for us? Sometimes this could look like filtering out individuals who aren't healthy for us, or again, other situations that just might be sus and completely throw us off course from what we're trying to do with our lives. So this could be a time to adopt a lot of healthy skepticism, so we're not as malleable to tactics, scams, and other things that may be dubious. Another thing we might be looking for in this energy is understanding what's making us wasteful. In other words, where are we wasting our energy? Where are we feeling like we're not being useful in a way that can really benefit us in our lives? So this could be a period where you're looking to come out of a haze if you've been in a haze for a while, working on impulsivity and becoming more patient, getting rid of unrealistic goals in favor of ones that are attainable, and even looking at how you could be of service to others in order to feel more useful in your life. And a lot of the reason why this is Virgo energy pushes us to be more purposeful so that we can get more precise and cut through the unorganized situations in our lives and gain more fulfillment. So this could be a period of a ton of self-improvement, or even looking into people that can help you. Sometimes people hire accountability coaches or look for others that they trust in their life to hold them accountable. That way, if they're slipping, they have someone that they have to answer to healthily. Here's another thing with Virgo energy as a way to incorporate other people in our lives. Yes, it's being of service to other people and also having someone that holds you accountable, but it can also be through apprenticeships. So is this a time where you'd like to take on some sort of study from someone who's perfected a subject, some sort of subject that you would like to become an expert in? So this could be another way you're wanting to improve. Either way, with Virgo energy, this could be a time of working really hard, long hours to enhance your skills. So if you're trying to obtain that right now because you're wanting to become more specialized or expert in a specific topic or niche, this could be a period where you're really truly trying to be more specialized in your abilities. Overall, with this energy, it's a time to tap into our potential, truly apply ourselves to something, tidy up any clutter that's creating chaos in our lives, because we're ready to be effective and spotless. That way we live a more meaningful life. Let's look at these transits and see what we can expect from this lunar event. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps this channel grow. Also, if you're looking for a natal chart reading or intuitive coaching, the links will be in the description box below. And if you'd like to support the work of this channel, you could do so by buying me a fresh cup of coffee. The link will be in the description box below as well. So kind of like I was saying earlier, this lunar event is pretty edgy with all the transits that are occurring right now that happen to be edgy, but also the chart ruler is slowly coming out of its stationing period and is still in pre-shadow. Mercury is the chart ruler for this lunation because it rules Virgo. And so with the condition that this planet is in, we may feel like we're coming back to something during this lunar event. We're in the post-shadow of this energy, and so it could be a time of coming back to something that didn't make any sense during the retrograde period and finally coming up with a solution for something that was maybe problematic during the retrograde. So that's actually a really good thing. The edgy side to this is the communication parts, though. Mercury is square to Uranus and is sesquiquadrate the nodes, and so with this, communication can feel contentious. It could be a lot of unexpected upheaval, not in a chaotic way, of course, but more or less just like feeling like the rug got swept under you with energy like this in terms of plans and anything that was scheduled or just something unexpected happening that's just really off-putting. It may also be a time to consider what we're needing to let go of in terms of just behavior that's no longer serving us, especially with the hard aspects going on to the nodes. That sesquiquadrate to the north node and the semi-sextile to the south node is really going to help us look at what we need to let go of that's no longer serving us. Then with the luminaries, the sun and the moon, which happen to be in a conjunction because at all new moons, the moon and the sun happen to be closer to one another and acting as a metaplanet, they're both making the same aspects. There's squares to Jupiter and there's an opposition to Saturn. Because this is in the mutable signs, we're having some of these alignments feel like a repeat. We were seeing this earlier in the month of August. Well, actually more so mid-August when we had Venus and Virgo lining up in the same type of alignment. And so what's going to end up happening is there could be consequences if we're allowing our emotions to run wild or we're reacting to something in a disproportionate manner or acting impulsively. You could feel like our moods are fluctuating, going from overly confident, unjustifiably confident one moment, and then going to a gloomy state cold, minimizing things, or even experiencing moments where we just feel like isolating ourselves. So these energies, try to find the most balance that you can. I mean, Jupiter and Saturn are still in that square with this square to the moon that Jupiter is making and the opposition that Saturn's making to the moon. So there's a lot of internal energetic clashes that might be going on within us during this lunar event, and that's not comfortable. That's also why the vibes on the graph are a little weird. They're weird for the weekly as well and everything because of all this weird stuff that's going on. But do your best to stay grounded. Utilize, regardless if this lunar event has some hard aspects, definitely utilize it to your advantage in terms of the positive attributes or any intentions that you're trying to set, especially since this is the last Virgo moon that we're going to be able to do that kind of thing in for a while. And if you love Virgo energy and all of the ways it helps you get it together, then this is the one to really have fun with all of that. But the signs that will feel this lunar event more than others will be the mutable modality. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, between 9 to 23 degrees of these zodiac placements. So if you have planets and chart points in these signs, you'll feel this lunar event more than others. Anyway, I hope you all have the best new moon in Virgo ever. Later, and see you in the next episode.